We're going to go to the voicemail of Truth and Reason, and this one deals with Odell Beckham Jr.
Hi, my name is Barry Silver, longtime Browns fan, longtime Odell Beckham hater. What makes anybody think that Odell Beckham, with his track record in the last few years, let alone being a cancer on a team, is going to come out and be a star wide receiver? He should be traded or cut. And now they're saying, well, if Odell. Odell is junk. Bye.
You know, I don't get it with some people with Odell Beckham Jr. First of all, I've never heard any of his teammates or anybody associated with any team he's been on who thought he was a cancer. And there are just some people that don't want to take a look at what he did the first 3 years in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I really did get the impression that first year he was here that his teammates liked him and that he was a good teammate and they liked having him around. And, you know, we're in that locker room. Obviously, last year we weren't, but in 2019 we were. We're in there about 45 minutes a day. And Odell was always almost always in there, and he was interacting with his teammates. He was never too big to be there. And even with us in the media, it was always, if you wanted to go up and chat with him, you could, or, you know, if you had a question for him to follow up on something, you could do that. He was really approachable. And when you consider, I mean, this guy is a LeBron level of star as far as the NFL is concerned. He's that recognizable, I think, as far as NFL players go, especially non-quarterbacks. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to be as approachable and accessible, and he really is. And then on the field, you know, the guy shows up. He was hurt in 2019, and he ended up having surgery after the season. But he played all 16 games, and he went over 1,000 yards. He didn't need to be on the field against Cincinnati that last week of the season when Freddie Kitchens was going to get fired. You know, he had a stomach bug. He goes out there anyway. He plays. He gets to his 1,000 yards. Maybe that was part of it, but again, you know, it matters that he was out there and that he showed up and played in that football game. So I think Odell Beckham can be a divisive guy sometimes. I don't know if it's the social media presence and some of the other stuff that goes around, the marketing, all of that. But on the football field, in the locker room, Odell Beckham is kind of just another football player, but he's just really, really good at it.
And if he's healthy, that's the one thing. He's been kind of banged up, and you worry about that, obviously, because that's what happens with wide receivers. They take a beating. I mean, there are guys that when he has the ball, they want to rip his head off. So you hope that he's healthy and he can get back to near the level he was. First 3 years, he was putting up numbers that were unmatched.
Yeah, and you know, look, if the voicemailer would have said, hey, I'm concerned about Odell Beckham's health. He hasn't been healthy in a while. He's had a lot of lower body injuries. It kind of goes back to when he got hurt here in Cleveland in a preseason game when Breanne Body Calhoun hit him low, and it's just sort of snowballed from there. If the argument would have been, I don't believe Odell can stay healthy, I think maybe these lower leg injuries are going to catch up to him. He's getting close to 30. I think you can make that argument. I do think Odell is going to be healthy. I think he's going to be out there this year, but you know, all the other stuff, I think if he's on the field, he's dynamic. And like we talked about at the top of the show, the Browns just don't have another guy that can do that.
Well, there aren't many in the NFL that can do the things he can do when he's healthy.